Speaking of weather, several tornado warnings across the nation this weekend, and an apparent tornado touchdown are turning concerns to this year's potentially above-average tornado season. To help us prepare, storm chaser Kyle Cutten joining us now. Storm chaser, that is such a cool title. Welcome to the show. So we know it is early March. Those tornado warnings and potential tornado touchdown we saw this weekend. Was it surprising to you at all, Kyle?
Once again, this time of year, late winter, early spring in the southeastern United States, it is surprising to see this many, but it is this time of year.
So we've heard the term tornado alley. Is that still the general area of focus for storms? Is it a little bit more widespread now?
It's definitely more widespread. We're seeing in areas, traditional tornado alley from Texas up to South Dakota has now shifted east from Louisiana all the way to Florida, as we've seen the past couple of years. So it's definitely concerning.
And Kyle, I know this is, obviously your job. You keep an eye on this. Data shows that in 2023, we had more tornadoes than usual. What's the prediction for this year? What's the prediction for 2024?
I expect this to be above the average. We've seen tornadoes in areas that typically or later in the year. We've seen the intensity of the tornadoes for this time of year. There's really nowhere east of the Rockies that's safe anymore, that's, doesn't have tornadoes or deadly weather in their areas.
What do you attribute these weather patterns and these weather changes to?
Oh, I mean, there's several factors, but there's folks that say the climate is changing. But if you look at a lot of the data, every couple decades we get a really bad year, followed up by even a worse year in a lot of cases. And I feel like we're in one of those patterns right now.
The video of this twister just eating up these homes is incredible. You've chased hundreds of storms. Do you have any advice on how we can be better prepared for a storm?
Yes, I would tell those at home, especially those that have just moved to those areas that are new. You want to pick your shelter. If you don't have an actual tornado shelter, pick the most interior closet. I can tell you a story of a family that had 10 people trapped inside, but everybody left without a scratch in Kentucky a few years back. And it was because they were inside of an interior closet while the house folded all around them. So you want to pick your shelter. You want to pick contents to take with you. If you have animals, take dog food or cat food. A lot of folks have been buried for 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, right there. That was Paula and Sergio Chavez up in Isley, Kentucky. So you want to make sure you are prepared to be buried for 1 to 2 days. A lot of times it takes folks a long time to find, especially in rural areas like that tornado was. And with resources being spread thin, you have to be ready.
Yeah, we were just looking at that video you mentioned of the family. The house was completely destroyed. They took shelter in a closet and survived. Look at that video. It is a miracle that 10 people survived by taking shelter in a closet. Kyle Cutten, thank you so much for sharing your advice. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.